Hey guys, and welcome back to this best funding firm in 2024 review. Today I will be comparing the most popular future funding firms, Take Profit Trader, Apex, TopStep, with a CFD funding firm named FundingPips. That's going to be really interesting. You're going to see me comparing all of these funding firms to make your own educated decision on which funding firm to sign up with. Alright, let's get started right away with the first funding firm. First of all, we're going to take a look at the oldest futures funding firm that has been around for the longest amount of time, and that would be TopStep. TopStep is a really cool prop firm. The only thing I don't like about TopStep specifically is that you can use right here 5 mini contracts or 5 micro contracts on a 50k evaluation. And once you're actually funded and you moved on to the express funded account, you can only use 2 minis or 2 micros until you progress on that funded account and put the first $1,000 in profit in. And with each $1,000 profit accumulated on that account, you can use 1 more mini or micro contract. And this rule doesn't really make sense to me, because with all other future funding firms, you can risk either 5 minis or 50 micros, so 10 times the amount that you can risk with minis. The future challenges are mostly all the same. You have a 6% profit target and around 4% max drawdown. With TopStep, it's actually calculated end of day, and you have to apply to a 50% consistency rule, meaning that your biggest winning trade can't account to more than 50% of your entire profit target. You have a $1,000 max daily loss limit, but this doesn't count as a violation. So if you lose more than $1,000 on your 50k challenge, you just cannot trade anymore on that specific trading day. About the payouts, you can request a payout with TopStep after 5 trading days over $200 in profit, and then you can request 50% of your total PL. And after 30 days over $200 in profit, you can request 100% of your P&L. If you want to dive deeper into TopStep, I really recommend joining their Discord, checking out their website, reading through the resources and all that stuff. And they currently offer a 50k challenge for $49 per month. Let's continue right away with our second futures funding firm, Apex Trader Funding. The main difference to TopStep and the other future funding firms is that your max drawdown and your trailing drawdown is being calculated live or intraday, meaning that if you are $500 in profit in a currently open trade, and let's say you move your stop loss to break even just to protect your position, if the price turns around and hits your break even level, you actually lost $500 because you didn't realize that profit, that P&L. It's being trailed live. The cool thing here with Apex is that you can use 10 minis or 100 micros, so you can use the same amount of risk with on the micro chart compared to what you can already do on the mini chart. And another cool thing about Apex is that you can actually get up to 20 accounts connected with each other. I already made a video about this on how to set that up using the Apex Investing Trade Copier. If you want to learn more about that, definitely make sure to check out the link in the description box below. But besides that, the only other downside I see with Apex Trader Funding is that you have a 30% consistency rule once you're funded and trading on your PA account. And also, if you want to learn more about Apex Trader Funding, I recommend joining their Discord server and checking out their FAQ section on their website. They currently have a 71% discount promotion that ends within the next 8 days. So you can currently get your hands on a 50k trade away challenge for I think around $50, but keep in mind you will still have to pay the $149 activation fee once you pass that first step. Let's take a look at our last futures funding firm before we compare them very easily side by side. The main difference here with TPT is that you have a 1,100 daily loss limit. Comparing that to the TopStep daily loss limit, if you breach that, you actually lose the challenge. Another thing I have to point out here with Take Profit Trader is that you have a 4% max drawdown being calculated at the end of day during your challenge. And once you advance and pass the challenge, advance to the pro account, your end of day trailing drawdown is now being calculated intraday, but also using the safety pillow method, meaning that once you make 4% in profit on your 50k account, so $2,000 in profit, your max drawdown is actually getting locked in at 50K and becomes static. So yeah, you just can't allow your account to go back below 50K, but it's not trailing anymore once you are above 4% profit on that account. And also a cool thing with TPT is that you can request immediate payouts, and you can even reset your funded account up to 3 times. And like always, if you want to learn more about Take Profit Trader, make sure to check out their website and do some research inside the knowledge base. Everything you have to know before you sign up with Take Profit Trader is right in here. They currently have the best promotion out of all future funding firms, because you can get a 40% off discount for life and pay a $0 activation fee. And if you do the math here, for a 50K account, you end up paying only $100 without having to pay the activation fee. If you compare that to Apex with a 71% discount, yes, you only pay $50 on your challenge, but after you pass that challenge, you still have to pay the $150 activation fee, then ending up at $200 total cost with Apex Trader funding and only $100, so 50% cheaper with Take Profit Trader. And before we continue to our side-by-side comparison, here are just the main details about a CFD challenge with FundingPips. They usually offer 2-step challenges with a max static drawdown, so no annoying trailing drawdown whatsoever. There's a one-time fee, yes, no monthly recurring subscription of $239 for a 50K account, and you actually get a refund of that one-time fee on your fourth payout with FundingPips. Yes, it's a CFD challenge, so you have to execute via MT5 or MT4. With FundingPips, you have the lowest spreads and slippage amongst all other CFD prop firms, and I actually made a CFD prop firm comparison sheet. Make sure to check that out. The link for that is in the description box below. Because with FundingPips, I have found that I have the lowest spreads and slippage amongst all other CFD firms. And you also pay $0 commissions on indices. You can request weekly payouts via crypto or bank transfer. And like always, if you want to learn more about each and every specific prop firm I'm covering here in this video, make sure to check out their website, join their Discord server, or simply leave a question in the comment section down below this video. So now we arrived at the side-by-side comparison between the 50K evaluation challenges between TopStep, Apex, Take Profit Trader, and FundingPips. FundingPips here in yellow because this one is the CFD challenge, while the other 3 white ones are the future challenges. Main difference between them is that those ones can be executed on NinjaTrader and TradingView, while FundingPips challenges can only be executed on MT5. My personal opinion about execution on MT5 is I don't like it too much either, because it feels like a very, very old platform, and yeah, not the biggest fan of it, but I'm a big fan of the rules of the CFD funding firms. 10% static drawdown, not having to worry about that super annoying trailing drawdown, sometimes even live trailing drawdown with Apex or TPT. 10% static max drawdown means that once I purchase a challenge and I start out right at 50K, only if my account goes below $47,500, I'm actually losing the challenge. And that's pretty cool. So if I'm up 4% out of my 8% total target, I can theoretically lose 14% because my drawdown is not trailing up as I'm making profit. I'm also just paying $239, and I can request a refund on my fourth payout. I pay $0 in commissions, but therefore I have a little bit of a spread. That's why I created the CFD funding firm comparison spreadsheet for you guys to compare all CFD funding firms and check for the one with the lowest spreads. They all have MT5 demo accounts, so you can take a look at them first, maybe create a FTMO free trial challenge before you actually get started with CFDs, because if you're not used to them, it's definitely something new you have to learn. And before this video comes to an end, I also want to show you what it looks like if you execute inside MT5. I've got it set up to give it that TradingView feeling, and I'm also working on a video on how to set up MT5 to make it feel like it's actually TradingView. I'm using a little trade assistant tool right here, And if I, let's say, for example, want to enter a long position risking, let's say I want to risk 0.1% here for this example, all I have to do is click on lines right here, and then you see those lines. This is our current spread. Let's say I want to move my stop loss below this low. We see the commission 0.0. It automatically calculates the lot size based on my risk setting, and all I have to do now is click on place, and now I'm in the trade. Let me actually hide the lines again now. I'm in this long trade right here, taking profit right here, making $105 if it hits my take profit target, losing $52 if it hits the stop loss. And it's as simple as that. It's not too bad in my opinion, and it's really worth that 10% max static drawdown. Alright guys, take care. And then in the end, it's really just about yourself, your edge, your risk management style. When it comes to the question which prop firm you should sign up with, I mean, here everything is outlined right in front of you. If you feel like you don't have enough room to breathe with future funding firms, I would definitely recommend trying out a CFD challenge because of that 10% max static drawdown. You don't have to worry about your intraday trailing drawdown or your trailing drawdown in general. There's no consistency rule. That's also a big up point for me, because if we go over to that next slide and take a look at the funded comparison, so now we're looking at the 50K funded accounts of all these companies that we already talked about. In this scenario with TopStep, you also still have that 2% daily loss limit. With Apex you don't, and with Take Profit Trader you have that 2.2% daily loss limit. With FundingPips you have a 5% daily loss limit. Just a little bit of more room to breathe, actually twice as much. You still have that 10% max static drawdown. With all the other future funding firms, you have a trailing drawdown. Apex and TPT actually being calculated intraday, but they all use the same safety pillow method, meaning that once you make your max trailing drawdown in profit, so you're up 5% on Apex and 4% on TPT and TopStep, your trailing drawdown locks in at your initial account balance, and the more profit you make above that threshold, that's not, your stop loss isn't trailing, or your intraday trading drawdown isn't trailing above the $50,000 mark or your initial account balance. Another cool thing about TPT is that you can actually request a payout immediately. You don't have to wait for 10 trading days and actually have 10 active trading days with Apex. You don't have a 30% consistency rule. I think that's the biggest downside next to the intraday trading drawdown with Apex Trader Funding, because if you want to request a payout, your biggest win or your biggest winning day can't account for more than 30% of your total payout. So yeah, just needs much more consistency in order to get to that payout stage. And that's already it with my review of the best funding firm in 2024. In my opinion, if you are a beginner trader, the easiest way to get funded in 2024 would be with a CFD challenge, because you just have so much more room to breathe. If you trade indices only like Nasdaq and the S&P 500, I can really recommend FundingPips. I'm using it myself, and you get the lowest spreads and the lowest slippage within, or looking at all the entire CFD prop firm industry. I already tested that and made a video about that. The link for that is also in the description box below, or simply look for it on my YouTube channel. But if you don't like MT5 and executing via MT5, I can totally understand that. And then my prop firm of choice would be Take Profit Trader. I used to trade a lot with Apex Trader Funding. I still have my funded accounts with them. But since I've been trading with FundingPips and the CFD challenge, I'm just so much over the live trailing drawdown and all that stuff, and the 10 minimum trading days between withdrawals, the 30% consistency rule. I never really liked TopStep. I used to be funded with them too, but that scaling rule, you start with TopStep, you always start with a $0 account balance on your Express funded account, and once you put $1,000 in profit on that account, you can use free minis or free micros. I never really liked that system. If I'm able to risk free mini contracts on the S&P 500, I also want to be able to manage my risk a little bit better, saying that I want to enter with 6 micro contracts here, because my stop loss is just a little bit larger than average. And with TopStep I don't have the option because it's either 2 minis or 2 micros. So the same amount of contracts you can use with minis, you can use on the micro chart. Doesn't make sense to me. I already asked the team if they can modify that. I've been getting a response that they're working on it, but other community members actually reached out to me saying that they've asked for that even last year and in 2021, but they've never changed that or updated that. So that's why Take Profit Trader currently is my favorite one, because I can request immediate payouts. So I get funded, I make $250 and I cash out those $250 without any restrictions, without having to wait 10 days, without having to have 10 days of $200 in profit, or 5 days I think it is with TopStep. And also because currently they have the best promotion. You save 40% on your challenge and you don't have to pay the activation fee, which really is the biggest bummer with the future funding firms. Alright guys, and that's already the end of the best future funding firm in 2024 video review. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to support all the work that I do. There's a link for all the funding firms in the description box below, where you can support my YouTube channel and all the work I do here at no extra cost to you. And if you are already funded or trading with a different funding firm that I didn't include in here in this review, make sure to let us know in the comments and leave your honest review about that company, so our community can read through the comments and get an idea of different prop firms out there that I haven't included in this video. Alright guys, thanks very much for watching. I will be back again on the next live stream. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.